All right, let's go, man. Let's get into it. I promise you guys, Wednesday, you're going to get the preview. Here's the preview, man. College football, national title. Now, a lot of y'all been rocking with my, college football, man. Let me know in the comment section whether you're a new subscriber or not a new subscriber. Should I do more college football coverage next year? Because I thought about doing more college football, especially, with my Florida State Seminoles going undefeated, but I didn't know if you guys rock with it. I know this is mainly an NFL, NBA channel. But let me know, man. Y'all rocking with the college football, man? Let me know what's up, man. Give me some teams to suggest. Obviously, Florida State and Oklahoma will be covered on this channel because, I'm a Florida State and Oklahoma fan. But let's talk about this natty, man. Michigan, you proved me wrong. Jim Harbaugh, you proved me wrong. It was looking like you were going to choke, Jim. It was looking like you were going to pull a classic Jim Harbaugh choking the when it matters, choking the playoffs. But you know what? You pulled through. And to that, I say congratulations. I really do. I really had no problem with Michigan winning. I might have took, some shots at Jim, you know what I'm saying, for, losing to TCU last year, because I'm an Oklahoma fan. But, I got over it, as we're going to get into further in the video. But, Jim, you beat Alabama, you beat Nick Saban, and this Alabama team is pretty good. Despite, their up and down season this year. They're a pretty good team. They gave you guys a close call. Let's talk about it, man. Michigan is a very good team, but I hate to say it, I still don't believe in Jim Harbaugh. I still don't believe in J.J. McCarthy. J.J. McCarthy was horrible yesterday. He is beyond horrible. And against that Washington defense, he's going to have to make throws that, win the game. I don't think he can do that. Michigan's run game is beyond amazing. That run game for Michigan's amazing. Won them the game yesterday as the running back, I think number 2, ran up the middle for a touchdown. Michigan's defense is good too. Michigan's defense is beyond good. Containing the run, pass defense is pretty decent. They are good. It's just Jim Harbaugh he should win this game. He should win this game. But Jim Harbaugh, you can never trust this guy. You really can't. And now, once again, he should win this game. If I had a gun to my head, I'm going to save that for later. Let's talk about Washington. And you know what? Once again, shout out to Washington for beating the bum Texas team. Texas, choke. I'm still smoking that pack. Shout out to Washington for doing America a favor and getting Texas out the way. They didn't deserve to be in the playoffs. People were sitting here saying Alabama doesn't deserve to be in the playoffs. I know a lot of Florida State fans were saying Alabama doesn't deserve to be in the playoffs, which, I think they deserve it more than Texas. I mean, at least Alabama beat Georgia, who's the number 1 team throughout the whole season. I'd rather have Georgia losing the SEC title in the playoffs than Texas. But you know what? Shout out to Washington. Shout out to my boy Michael Penix. Dude for 430, 2-3 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the ball a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Penix is that dude. Whatever team gets him, I hope you have a good offensive line. Now, granted, Penix looks like, he's getting a little bit mobile out there. You know what I'm saying? He's getting a little bit mobile. Once again, Penix does have a bad ACL, and I'm not going to go fully into it. I'm actually going to be doing an evaluation on each and every quarterback that's coming out the draft this year. But Penix looks good, man. But I hate to say this, Washington. All that running and all that stuff you can do, you can't do against Michigan's. Michigan's defense is elite. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Jim Harbaugh and the defensive coordinator have done an amazing job with that defense on Michigan. And all that running stuff, listen, Washington has a very great running game. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Washington has a very great running game. Michael Penix is not that mobile. Just because he went up against trash Texas does not mean he's mobile. You know what I'm saying? Just Texas is beyond horrible. The quote number 1 defense got ran over by a guy who can't outrun a fire hydrant. But Washington, you won, and he's the problem. Here's the problem. Washington, you lost your quarterback. I think his name is Johnson. David Johnson Jr., I think his name is. Something Johnson, I think his name is. But he got injured. He got injured the last couple minutes or the last couple seconds of that playoff game against Texas, and he's a huge part of your run game. He's a huge part of your offense. It almost cost you the game because him getting injured stopped the clock and almost let Texas go down to get the touchdown. But Texas being Texas, they choked. But losing him and he had to be helped off is going to be a huge factor. And the guy was already dealing with foot injuries during the season. He was injured in the Oregon game, in the Washington State game, in the LSU, not the LSU, the USC game too. That is a huge blow for you guys. And if I had to pick, I know I'm going to regret this. I want Penix to win. I love Penix. Penix is my dude. And you know what? If my Giants get Penix, I'll do 10 backflips. I like Penix. Dude has an arm. By the way, Michael Penix has the best arm in this draft. But once again, another video for another day. Oh, man. I got to go with Michigan. Because losing that running back is huge. Maybe Washington can adjust, but I have to go with Michigan. I think Michigan will win in a close game. It's just Jim Harbaugh, man. I can never trust this guy. The guy loses in the Super Bowl to his brother. He loses to my Giants in the AFC Championship game. He lost to Pete Carroll on multiple occasions. He lost to Urban Meyer on multiple occasions. Lost to Nick Saban a few years ago. Now he beat Nick Saban. Oh, man. They lost to TCU last year, but I can't trust them, man. Trusting Jim Harbaugh is like trusting Kyle Shanahan in the playoffs. It's like, he's the best coach. He's the better coach. Because that coach for Washington, I'm sorry, if they would have lost that game, he should have got fired. Because that was horrible discipline by the team. That was horrible game management. Just honestly, that dude almost choked that game. But at the same time, man, that running back being out, that's a huge loss for Washington. That is a huge loss for Washington. Washington relies on the run game. That's what opens up the pass game. Of course, Penix is amazing. Best arm in college football. Best arm in the draft. But Michigan's defense is elite, and they can stop the run. And Michigan's pass defense is pretty good too, as you saw against Alabama. So if you can clog those things up, Washington doesn't really have anything. But once again, I don't trust J.J. McCarthy. And J.J. McCarthy is going to have to make some plays on this Washington defense, which is elite as well. And I can see J.J., I can see Jim saying, let's just run the ball, and Washington keeps clogging it up and fumbles, and he's going to want J.J. to throw, and picks can happen. So this game can go either way. And listen, I love Penix. Penix is my dude. He might be a soon-to-be Giant. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to root for him. But I have to go with Jim, man. Just the loss of that running back yesterday. Once again, unfortunate. And by the way, that was horrible coaching. You should not be running the ball 3 times. You should have kneeled it at least once. But, it is what it is there. And maybe you would have your running back, and I'll be able to pick Washington. But Michigan should win this game. Don't be shocked if they choke it. Do not be shocked if they choke it. Once again, it's Jim Harbaugh in a big game. And even the Alabama game, like if it wasn't for Alabama doing some dumb stuff on their own, they could have won that game. They really could have won that game. Like Michigan, I don't want to say they shouldn't be here, but trust me. I was watching that game, yeah, this is what I expected. Jim Harbaugh's choking. In the biggest moments he choked, and he got a few lucky breaks, and his team made plays, especially his defense. And it is what it is, man. But my pick, I'm going to pick Michigan. Here's the real question. I want you guys to know. Who do you guys have winning this game? Do you have Michigan or do you have Washington? And let me know, do you think it's going to be a good game? Do you think it's going to be a blowout? Do you think it's going to be a close game? Do you think it's going to be a low-scoring game, high-scoring game? Who do you think is going to be player of the game? Who do you think's draft stock is going to go up? Who do you think draft stock is going to go down? And, if you're, obviously everybody who watches this video probably has an NFL team last time. Who do you know? Who are you looking for to draft for your NFL team? Who do you think, you want for your NFL team if you want anybody from Washington or from Michigan. You know what I'm saying? Last time. But let me know your thoughts, man. This should be a good game. I got Michigan. Hesitantly, I have Michigan, but we'll see what happens. I'm obviously gonna do a reaction video probably next Wednesday. RJ out.